Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Today is still Monday, April 29th, 2024. Did a few videos about some Lehigh, New England and Lehigh Valley Railroad remains earlier in the day, but then I decided to come home and do a little video in my hometown. So we're at Emmaus Community Park in Emmaus, Pennsylvania. It's at Lehigh County. What you're looking at right now is the Liebert Creek, or Liebert Creek. I'm not really sure how it's pronounced properly, even though I've lived here for 20 years. I should probably know how to pronounce it, but we're going to go with Liebert Creek. And this creek runs under this beautiful culvert right here. So what we're looking at is what I believe is an original 1858, 1859 East Pennsylvania Railroad culvert. That is what railroad grade was originally built here. It was the East Pennsylvania Railroad, and it ran from Reading, Pennsylvania to Allentown, Pennsylvania. In 1869, the Philadelphia and Reading Railroad leased the East Pennsylvania Railroad, and it became the East Pennsylvania branch of the Reading Railroad. And it remained that way up until the Reading Company's bankruptcy in 1976, at which time Conrail took it over, and it is now the Norfolk Southern Reading line. So this runs from the Allentown Yard to the Reading Yard. I believe the support done to the top of the culvert, probably Conrail. It looks too new to be Reading. Also could have been Norfolk Southern. It's a nice hot day today, so I figured we'd take a walk through the culvert. These stones here were actually capstones on the step-like area, but they had to be knocked down for the concrete reinforcement. I've also seen that it looks like there's some mortar inside here. Don't know if it was originally built with mortar or if that was possibly done by the Reading at a later time. Hopefully the phone will focus while we're in here. There we go. The line above us is quite active. Although every time I say that, I never catch a train going on it. You can see there's been mortar placed in the gaps. So I don't know, originally, I would suspect originally it was probably mortarless, like you see right here. And over time it's had mortar placed into it. But again, I believe this is a 1858, 1859 East Pennsylvania Railroad culvert. Now the East Pennsylvania Railroad, while most of it is still in operation as the Norfolk Southern Reading line, part of it was abandoned in Blandon, Pennsylvania. They put in what is known as the Blandon low grade, and that was to eliminate trains to have to climb such a steep grade out of Blandon and into Reading. So some of that rail bed sits abandoned in areas. It's part of people's property in areas, and it's also part of a rail trail in Muhlenberg Township, which is right outside of Reading, Pennsylvania. Now the rerouted Blandon low grade, that's still active. That runs into Reading, Pennsylvania, into the yards in Reading, Pennsylvania. This one is a beauty though. Now I've driven lots of mileage where you can see the East Pennsylvania Railroad, and to the best of my recollection, this is probably the most elaborate culvert that I've I can remember being along this line. It's actually quite a well-constructed line. There's not a lot of high portions. You got little bridges and little culverts scattered all about, but they never had to really build too many large bridges for this railroad to go over. This railroad is also, in my opinion, the reason that the Allentown Railroad never was able to get moving along, because this East Pennsylvania Railroad came through and it was an easier, quicker route to get from Reading to Allentown. So the Allentown Railroad was abandoned, and then all the switching could be done in Reading. Then it could go up to Reading, Maine, up into Schuylkill County. Take a walk back through. This is probably going to be the last video of the day. Next week we will be back out into Schuylkill County, and we will be chasing the Lehigh Valley Railroad's Pottsville branch again next weekend, but it will just be exclusively Lehigh Valley Railroad next weekend, because the Lehigh New England is now where we left off on those two particular railroads. The Lehigh New England is making its way north to Tamaqua. We're not going to follow that. We've already done that. So we'll be sticking with the Lehigh Valley next weekend. Very nice. These stones right here would have gone up like this stone here does. You see this angled stone. I believe that these stones here would have gone up like so. They had to knock them down, put in this concrete retaining wall when they strengthened the whole grade. Possibly raised the grade too, and needed extra support for it. Let's take a walk over here real quick and we'll wrap this up. There you have it, the Liebert Creek Culvert, built by the East Pennsylvania Railroad, now part of the Norfolk Southern Reading Line in Emmaus, Pennsylvania, Lehigh County. Thanks, folks. I'll see you all next week. Everybody stay safe. Everybody take care. Be good.